Welcome to a Starter and a Chaser podcast with your hosts, Joe Clarke and Jon Passow.
I'm telling you, man, bird sharks exist. They're called barks, and dogs have been warning us of their arrival for decades. Oh, hey, welcome to another episode of a Starter and a Chaser podcast, where weekly, every Wednesday, we review one whiskey and one beer just for you. I'm Professional Brewer, Jon Passow.
I'm Whiskey Connoisseur, Joe Clarke.
And Joe, for the starter, what do we have?
We have Ardbeg 5-year Beastie.
And for the chaser, we have from Orkney Brewing Company, Skull Splitter, heavy.
That's awesome. All right, a little bit about Ardbeg now. They started illegally distilling in 1795, legally distilling in 1815. They are the south part of the island of Islay of Scotland. Okay, and they are equipped with 2 pot stills. Beastie 5-year was actually the reason why it's a 5-year-old product, and people are going to be like, oh no, 5-year, it's too young. What they wanted to do was showcase the peatiness, the smokiness of their scotches and how they start out and how age with their stuff that age longer, 10, 15, 20, yada, 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 how that peaty and smokiness kind of mellows out a little bit. So we're going to experience how peaty and smoky this is going to be, John.
Kind of puts a benchmark in there so that you can see how it's evolved over time. I'm really excited. This is a brand new product, just came out, so I'm excited to dive into it.
Yeah, and 47.4% alcohol.
Okay.
94.8 proof, and it's aged in ex-bourbon and Oloroso sherry casks. I can never say that correctly, so you can correct me if you want.
Put it in the comments.
That's
While
right.
you're down there, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Well, we have this poured, and it's opening up here for us, so shall we put a nose into it?
Let's take a look at this bad boy, man.
Oh yeah,
look
we gotta
light
look at
that
it first.
is. Look
you
at
can
that.
tell it has not seen a lot of barrel time because the color pickup is not much.
Isn't that amazing? How a 5-year product over there, probably due to climate, doesn't really pick up much of the barrel and color, but something here would because we're in a warmer
climate.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. Good job. Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, that's like a shade darker than White Lightning, man.
This is going to sound terrible. This is, for me, it's the color of peat. I mean, it's got that light urine yellow to it, which, when you say it, it sounds really off-putting. I'm sorry, but that's kind of what this reminds me of. Not much vitamins this person's getting.
It's a wee thick drink.
Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, I didn't even notice the
nice
lack
thick
of
legs on it. The legs are, mine are coming through.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can start
okay.
seeing rippling on the glass there, the Glencairn.
Rippling legs.
Yeah.
What are you
Okay.
smelling? I'm guessing.
Oh,
peat.
well, smoke.
Smoke?
We like to call it smoke over here because it's like a forest fire in this glass.
Wow.
But you know what punches through really heavily on this, and I'm shocked that it's punching through this much peat, is a lot of that sherry, fruity, floral.
Oh, interesting.
It's actually very well balanced on the nose, and I'm shocked compared to other Islas that I've had at younger ages that have been just overpoweringly smoky. Even on the palate, it's just like, not for me. You know what I mean? I'm just starting to get into these Islas. So, shocked at the fruit notes coming through on this, John. I think we should take a dive. Let's do it.
All right. Cilantro?
Palate crusher. Little heat there. Not long.
Yeah,
right
it drops down very quick.
I'm getting it at like the back of the roof of my mouth on the heat.
Yes. It's kind of like a chili pepper heat. It's hitting me exactly where habaneros hit me, which is interesting.
Boy, is that tasty.
It is smoky, but it's sweet, light stone fruit. Like
very
apricot.
Sweet. Yeah.
And apricot. Little peach on the finish.
I don't know.
I'm going to go for a second.
More of the tropical side on the fruits for me.
A
little bit of the stone fruits, but you're getting like the apricots. I'm getting more of the kind of tropical taste to it, really, man. It's very floral, too.
See, but it's interesting. It's got this strange dichotomy going of, I'm starting to get some of the tropical notes, too, of the tropical apricot, stone fruit, with a major undercurrent of Scotch, peat, bog, smoke,
barrel.
No bob, just peat. It is got.
I'm not getting a lot of the sherry on this at all. On the palate, I was kind of picking that up on the nose,
but not the
not
palate.
a lot on the palate.
Let me go back and try to find the sherry here.
But I am picking up them bourbon barrels in there, though. Mm-hmm. You getting them? You getting the barrels on the back end of that? I'm wrong.
I get bourbon.
I'm getting the barrel kind of through it.
Yeah, I'm getting the caramely bourbon note, but sherry.
Oh, that barrel is there. You know what this reminds me on the barrel? It's that kind of licking the side of the barrel for me thing going on here, man.
I mentioned that back in our old granddad issue.
It's a little splintery, dude.
It is a little splintery. And I do get that sherry, though. It lightly dances on the palate in the finish. Very back of the tongue, I get it in there. But it is there for me, but you really got to go searching for it. But man, it's dominated by that peat, which is the purpose of this bottle.
Yep.
You know,
showcase the peat. It's showcasing the peat.
Yeah, it is. And I actually had this with a cigar a couple days ago, and it really paired well with the cigar.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that smoke from the cigar would kind of butt heads with the smoke on the peat, but it laid in there really nicely.
Oh man, this is a very nicely layered drink. Mm-hmm. I would say that's a new term for me. It's very layered, and you can really kind of peel through each layer of this very easily.
I completely.
If you want to taste you can kind of be like, I want to taste the smoke now. Up there it is, or the peat, or whatever you want to call it.
And we'll look for the fruit.
A little barrel there, and then there's some caramel in the back end of it, some brown sugar, little tropical fruits. The tropical fruits kind of fade away to me the more I drink it, and I'm picking more and more of the barrel, kind of caramely back end to it, brown sugar. And the peat's always there. It's not
never going to go away.
Nope.
But the nice part about the peat is it's not like an ashtray. It's overarching flavor for sure. It smacks you upside the face and says, "Hey, I'm smoky," but it's not in a disgusting, like I'm in a smoke-filled room with lots of cigarettes and it's a nice smoke. So
I would actually prefer this over the younger Lafroigs. Even the 10-year Lafroig. The Lafroig is very unbalanced to me. We'll do it on the show. And it's very smoky, like cigarette ashtray smoky.
Interesting.
I was expecting that from this.
This one is not.
This is not. Sure. This is so well balanced, it's ridiculous. Yeah, perfect.
Well, you know what? We're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break. But when we do come back with the Chaser, we're going to taste another Scottish product. Heavy. And we are back with the Chaser. And for the Chaser, it is from Scotland. It is Skull Splitter by Orkney Brewing Company. The Orkney Brewery was started in 2006 by Norman Sinclair, and it is actually located in the Orkney Isles of Scotland. Wow. They installed their brewery into the West Mainland School, and Norman Sinclair, his father or his grandfather, actually went to that school when he was a kid. So in honor of that, they kind of preserved the school atmosphere when they converted it into a brewery. Now, Skull Splitter is a Scottish wee heavy, and it's named after the 7th Viking Earl of Orkney. It's a mouthful, but it is what it is. It's 8.5% ABV. It is made with my favorite base malt, Maris Otter, which has a distinct, very distinct malt note to it, which makes it my favorite. And it's kind of interesting. Scottish wee heavy. There are lots of different levels of Scottish ales, and they were originally named after the taxation rates. So you have a 60 shilling, a 70 shilling, an 80 shilling, and a 90 shilling, which is the wee heavies. And they base those taxation rates off of the alcohol percentage. So 90 shilling is the highest tax rate for the Scottish ales, hence the wee heavy, hence the 8.5% ABV. So I think we should just stop talking about this.
Okay.
Crack it open.
John, when you pour mine, explain this contraption for me.
Okay. So I'm going to pour mine first.
And that's a tulip glass.
This is a tulip. And Joe, since this is his first experience with a Scottish ale, is getting it in my traditional thistle glass. So this is what they would have traditionally drunken Scottish ales out of, and it is a very, very hard to find glassware. So if you have any sources of where to find these glasses, shoot us an email at whiskeyandbeer@starterandchaser.com, or leave us a comment in below and hit the subscribe button while you're down there.
Interesting, man.
So let's take a look at this good head on there.
So this is from Orkney Isle?
Orkney Isle.
Wow, they have good scotch there too, guys.
And this is
amber, kind of like a
really
like a darker Irish red ale kind of thing going on.
Absolutely.
Wow. Cool, man. Nice head on it. Yeah, those big CO2 bubbles on this one. I'm not used to seeing that with some of the nitros I've had. Yeah, it's interesting going back to that. And
what do you smell?
Wow, this is like a giant Glencairn for beer.
It kind of is.
Yeah, a little hoppy.
Okay. They use East Kent Goldings for the hops, which tend to have a kind of floral, spicy, honey note to the hops.
Malty. Yeah, kind of caramel malty almost. Yeah.
So typically with your Scottish wee heavies and some of your other Scottish ales, you do what's called kettle caramelization, where while you're drawing the wort off of the mash, you start to boil it as it's drawing off. And so it's starting to condense and caramelize even before the kettle is full. Oh, wow. So a lot of the traditional Scottish ales will have a very distinct caramel note to them.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So shall we taste it?
Yeah, let's taste. I'm excited. Especially out of this glass. Oh, caramel malty, man. Woo, yeah. Oh, that smacks you in the face. And fruity.
Yep.
Wow.
A lot of times they use Edinburgh yeast or another variant of Scottish ale yeast, and it does have a lot of fruity esters. Very different fruity esters from your like English or your Belgian yeast strains. It's very unique.
This is unique. This is very good. It's a caramely, malty, fruity. The hops don't transfer that I was smelling. It's not like super high hoppy beer. It's not a hop head beer, as you would say. No, this is really tasty. Very easy to drink. Yeah.
For 9 or 8.5%, not bad. I get a lot of that kettle caramelization up front, but I also get underneath that kind of slightly bready, almost brown tasting Maris Otter malt that I do so love. A little bit of chocolate. But before the chocolate, mid-palate, I get those fruity esters.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting that, like when you swallow this, it almost kind of reinvigorates the fruit as you're swallowing it, and then it turns right back into the caramely.
Absolutely.
Malty, chocolatey kind of. Wow, this is really interesting, man. It's like a mouth transformer there, dude. That's really cool.
Mouth transformers, alcohol in disguise.
More than meets the tongue. Wow, this is great, man. I really like this.
Yeah, Scotland does some good stuff.
Beautiful fucking color too, man. Wow. Yeah, sorry, guys. Beautiful color.
It's all right. It's an alcohol show. Yeah, children shouldn't be watching.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, look, guess what was on...
Guess what Joe and John said on the Starter and a Chaser?
He said... That's the word you picked out of all of it.
That and kettle caramelization. Good job, son. Yeah, so there you go. That was unintentional, but our Scottish theme episode.
Yeah. Right?
Let's swing back.
Okay.
Ardbeg. Wee Beastie. What do you think, Joe?
Well, on the wee Beastie, it's incredible. I can't believe how well balanced it is at 5 years. This is only the second time I've ever had any Ardbeg products. I've had the Ardbeg 10-year years ago, didn't care for it, but I wasn't really well into my palate at that point, as you could say, really picking out, different things, and very, I guess, an untrained palate, you could say. And I was shocked. I was expecting this to be more along the lines of like a Laphroaig 10-year as my baseline for Islays. Okay. And I think that is very unbalanced cigarette ash type whiskey, where this is incredible. That's nice. Where I'm going to leave it at that.
Now, I have had the Laphroaig, and this is one of those moments.
Sorry, carbon guys.
That are. This is one of those moments that Joe and I rarely we disagree, but this was one that we disagree on, and I actually enjoyed the Laphroaig. But that being said, this is my first time having Ardbeg, and I am just absolutely impressed with the balance, and like Joe said earlier, the layered aspect of it, where you can focus on one thing and then switch gears, and you get another, and switch gears, and you get another. Really cool product, and there's actually a term out there, and I think I now fall into this classification. Ardbegians are fans of Ardbeg, and I don't know if Ardbeg actually invented that term or if the fans themselves came up to it, but
that's cool.
I am now an Ardbegian, 100%. That is,
I think I could work my way there.
Product for being so smoky, but not going into ashtray, being complex. God damn, that's a home run. And for the price, it is killer.
It's a monster of a dram.
Yeah, it is. It says so on the label, too. Now, Skull Splitter. 5,000 years in the making. 7 Viking Earl of Orkney. What do you think of your first thistleful of a Scottish wee heavy?
It's incredible. I've never had a Scottish beer before. I can't say anything. It's hard to bring it up to the level that I'm going to hold this at. The fruit and the caramel mixture on this, I thought it was going to be like over-carbonated by the way it was looking at first, but it's really not. It's super well balanced, man. This is incredible. I could see why this is one of your favorites.
Yeah, and actually for the style itself, Scottish wee heavies, this is my favorite example of it. And that is one of my favorite glasses too. So I'm a little jealous of you drinking that one out there. Like Joe said, I mean, it's got everything that you want. It's got the complexity. It's got the caramel note. It's got the fruit that pops in and out of it. I mean, it is so well balanced. It is drinkable.
That's probably one of the more complex beers we've had. Because stouts are very heavy and stuff like that, and you get a lot of flavor with it, but this is very complex. There's a lot of different flavors kind of tossing around in that bottle, and I think you could sit back and sip this for a while and pull a lot more out of it than even I did now.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to hit subscribe, and we also have a Patreon account if you would like to donate to us. And there you go.
That's it.
That is this episode. We will see you next Wednesday. Watch out for the barks. I'm telling you, they're
These dogs have been warning us the whole time. How do you know this?
The squirrels told me.